let's jump right in. Infinite riches are quite literally all around us, just waiting to be claimed, if we will simply open our mental eyes and behold the treasure house of infinity within ourselves. There is a literal gold mine inside you, and from it, you can extract absolutely everything you need to live life gloriously, joyously, and abundantly. In this explainer, we're diving deep into the timeless and deeply transformative text, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. We'll be unpacking the book's central overarching argument, that an infinite miracle-working power lies completely dormant within every single person, just waiting to be consciously directed to heal, to prosper, and to completely liberate us. Here is the roadmap for our explainer today. We're going to follow the natural arc of this classic text across 6 precise stages. We'll begin by defining the treasure within you, and then dismantle exactly how your mind works. From there, we'll explore techniques for mental healing, how to make your subconscious partner in success, methods for removing blocks and fear, and finally, aligning with the ultimate law of life.
All right, part 1, the treasure within you. To actually access this inner treasure, we really have to wrap our heads around the duality of mind. This is the single, undeniable premise that infinite riches and wisdom are already inside of you, but they function on 2 completely distinct levels.
To truly grasp this crucial duality, let's use Murphy's exact metaphors. Think of your conscious mind as the reasoning mind. It's objective, it's rational. It is the captain standing at the bridge of a ship or the gardener carefully planting seeds. Now, your subconscious mind, on the other hand, is subjective and totally irrational. It is the crew down in the engine room, blindly executing the captain's orders without a single argument. It is the rich soil that's going to grow whatever seeds the gardener decides to plant, whether those are toxic weeds or nourishing crops. The subconscious mind doesn't make comparisons, and it absolutely does not argue. It simply obeys the directives of your conscious mind.
And that brings us to the central thesis of the entire text. This is an absolute truth that governs your reality. What is impressed in the subconscious is expressed. Whatever you mentally claim and genuinely feel is true in your conscious mind, well, it's going to be accepted by your subconscious. And then it inevitably manifests on the screen of space as your conditions, your experiences, and your events. Your conscious thought is the incipient action, and the reaction is the automatic response of your much deeper mind. Moving on to part 2. How your mind works. Let's break down the actual mechanics of belief, detailing exactly how your subconscious processes information and how it remains constantly, and I mean constantly, amenable to suggestion.
The primary tool for actively navigating this is autosuggestion. Simply put, this means suggesting something definite and specific to yourself. Think about it. From childhood, we are constantly bombarded with negative heterosuggestions from the outside world. Things like you can't, you'll fail, or life is just an endless grind. If we leave those unchecked, we unconsciously accept these false ideas, and they establish highly destructive behavior patterns. So autosuggestion becomes our reconditioning therapy. By feeding your mind life-giving thoughts, your conscious mind steps up to act as a vigilant watchman at the gate. It actively rejects those negative influences and lays down entirely new, healthy subconscious tracks.
But that raises a pretty critical question for anyone practicing mental science. Why do affirmations actually fail sometimes? Why is it that a person repeating a phrase like "I am wealthy" often ends up experiencing paradoxically more poverty and frustration?
Well, the psychological answer lies in one really profound rule. The subconscious rejects statements that create mental conflict. If you're walking around saying, "I am prosperous," but deep down you truly feel that you are lacking, your subconscious accepts the dominant feeling. It accepts that feeling of lack. The subconscious just doesn't accept idle words. It only accepts what you genuinely feel to be true. Because of this, if we want to effectively program the mind, we have to use techniques that naturally bypass the conscious mind's rational arguments and its inherent resistance.
Which leads perfectly into part 3, techniques for mental healing. Let's look at the specific scientific methods Murphy outlines for programming the mind for health and harmony while totally neutralizing that conscious conflict.
One highly effective method here is the Baudouin technique, named after a French psychotherapist. The process is brilliantly simple. First, you just relax into a sleepy, drowsy state. This physical inertia favors mental passivity, which effectively lowers the resistance of your rational conscious mind. Second, you condense your desire into a brief, easily remembered phrase, something like "it is finished in divine order." And finally, you repeat it over and over, kind of like a lullaby. Doing this repetition in a passive state allows the idea to just sink deeply by osmosis right into the subconscious mind, initiating the actual healing process.
Another incredibly powerful method is the thank you technique. The fundamental idea here is that a thankful heart is always close to the creative forces of the universe. By entering a state of profound thanksgiving, you act as though your prayer has already been answered. So if you want to resolve a problem, you quietly, confidently affirm your deep gratitude for the perfect solution right now. This expectation literally triggers the cosmic law of action and reaction, bringing that desired result straight into objective reality.
Now for part 4, subconscious partner in success. Having locked down the mechanics of healing, let's shift our focus over to achieving wealth and how we can leverage these exact same subconscious principles for real-world professional achievement.
Murphy outlines 3 very specific steps to actualize success. First, you have to find what you love to do and then do it. And if you don't know what that is yet, ask your subconscious for guidance. Second, specialize in a particular branch of your chosen field and strive to absolutely excel in it. Third, and this is crucial, your desire cannot be purely selfish. It must benefit and serve humanity in some way. True achievement is practically impossible without peace of mind, and peace of mind only comes when your success actually contributes to the common good.
To really build this reality, you have to adopt the rules for wealth consciousness. Listen closely. Wealth is fundamentally a state of mind. It is the feeling of wealth that literally produces wealth. Furthermore, you have to ruthlessly eliminate envy. Envy is a massive stumbling block that actively pushes wealth right out the door. You should never criticize money, and definitely don't call it filthy lucre. But most importantly, never say, "I can't afford it." Whenever you say that, your subconscious takes it as a direct, literal order, absolutely ensuring that you remain in a position of lack. Instead, always reverse it by affirming the wealth that you actually desire. All right, part 5, removing blocks and fear. Even when we have these wealth rules fully in place, we still have to focus on overcoming mental hurdles. We have to address those deep-seated blocks and destructive habits that constantly try to intercept our progress. To overcome really severe blocks, things like destructive habits or even debilitating stage fright, Murphy offers a precise 3-step process. Step 1. Get perfectly still and quiet the racing wheels of your mind, entering that relaxed, receptive state we talked about earlier. Step 2. Repeat a brief phrase of freedom, actively affirming your deliverance. Step 3. Visualize the end goal with a deep, confident feeling. So for instance, if you're terrified of speaking to an audience, you visualize that audience responding joyously to your incredibly successful presentation. The power of this focused mental imagery, combined with relaxed repetition, absolutely forces the subconscious to build a brand new, triumphant habit. As the great psychologist William James so profoundly noted, the greatest discovery of the 19th century wasn't physical. It was the power of the subconscious, touched by faith. You see, fear is really nothing more than a silent thought that has become highly emotionalized. It's just an illusion of the mind. Subjective faith, that deep, unwavering inner conviction that your subconscious powers are constantly guiding and protecting you, is the absolute ultimate antidote to any abnormal fear. Finally, we arrive at part 6, the law of life. To wrap up this explainer, we're going to look at the overarching spiritual and psychological laws that govern happiness, forgiveness, youth, and the timeless nature of the aging process itself. For your daily psychological maintenance, you have to use the law of substitution. Remember, the natural tendency of your subconscious mind is always lifeward. It is constantly seeking to heal and preserve you. But when negative thoughts inevitably intrude, you can't just fight them directly. Instead, you overcome negative thoughts by immediately substituting them with constructive, lifeward thoughts. You affirm the good, and the bad simply vanishes. This right here is the daily operational tool that allows your conscious mind to effectively act as a proper watchman at the gate. Synthesizing these final chapters, we're left with some incredibly dense, actionable takeaways. First, happiness is not some random accident. It's a mental habit that you must consciously choose every single day. Furthermore, life, or the universe, never punishes you, it always forgives you, seeking only to heal a cut or mend a broken bone. Because of this, any guilt you feel is entirely self-imposed. You have to completely forgive yourself and others to ever be truly free. Finally, realize that while the physical body obviously changes, your mind and spirit absolutely do not grow old. You really are as young as you think you are. Which leaves us with one final, unavoidable reality to chew on. You, and you alone, are the captain of your ship. Your conscious mind is the one issuing the decrees, and the infinite miracle-working power of your subconscious crew is standing by, just waiting to flawlessly execute those orders on the screen of space. The mechanism is completely flawless, the power is absolute. So the only question that remains is, what orders will you impress upon your subconscious today?